We are back. Data download time. It'll come as no shock that Americans are divided over Donald Trump's presidency. But it's the generational gulf between how baby boomers and millennials, our two biggest generations, view this new administration. And it may have the biggest long-term political impact. In our new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, 52% of baby boomers approve of the job President Trump is doing so far, while 58% of millennials disapprove. By the way, for our purposes, boomers are defined as ages 55 to 70 and millennials ages 18 to 34. We know some Gen Zers in there if you're going to be specific. On President Trump's temporary travel ban, 54% of boomers say it's a necessary safeguard against terrorism, while 59% of millennials say it's unnecessary and goes against American principles. On the Affordable Care Act, 47% of boomers call it a bad idea, while 48% of millennials say the opposite. Of course, some of this goes back to the divisive election we saw in November. Boomers came out in big numbers for Donald Trump, while many millennials failed to even show up for Hillary Clinton. But this generational divide between boomers and millennials goes beyond explicitly political issues. Take foreign trade. 44% of boomers say it has hurt the United States, while 50% of millennials say free trade has helped this country. So why does all this matter? Well, as you know, politics of today is always setting up the politics of tomorrow, but I'm sure some people are wondering, whoa, the baby boomers of yesterday, weren't they on the left? Anyway, so you never fully know. That said, baby boomers are pretty happy with the first month of the Trump presidency, and that could mean short-term success for the president and GOP, at least providing him a solid floor. But the future of the country will be in the hands of the millennial voters, and so far they don't like a lot of what they see from this president or his policies. The question is, when does that become a problem for the boomers who have helped keep many of these folks in power? Welcome back. It's Endgame time. Perhaps sometime this week we're going to get the revised temporary travel ban from the Trump administration. I think, though, they keep running into internal legal hurdles and it keeps being pushed back. But there's been a consequence here. Let me show you this Muhammad Ali Jr. story. It's a headline in Muhammad Ali's hometown paper, of course, the late Muhammad Ali, but this was his son, questioned by immigration officials, mind you, born in the United States. His lawyer said that officials held and questioned Ali Jr. for nearly 2 hours, repeatedly asking him, where did you get your name from? Are you Muslim? I put up this story. Today's New York Times had the following piece. Immigration agents discover new freedom to deport under Trump. And then this statement here, morale amongst our agents and officers has increased exponentially since the signing of the orders, said the unions representing ICE and Border Patrol agents in a joint statement after President Trump issued those executive orders on immigration. The point is, there's clearly something has changed, Ramesh, in some of these, these are stories that are not going to be politically helpful to the president.
And one of the things they're going to have to do, if they're encouraging this sort of freelancing by sort of the least restrained elements of these bureaucracies, they've got to pull them back in, or it's going to discredit all of their policies more than, you know, it's going to cast it in the least possibly flattering light.
This was somebody born in the United States.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think Republicans or conservatives have worried about is that some of the things that Trump and the Trump administration has done actually undermines the things he cares about most, and I think that this is a great example. And immigration hawks, in particular, I know National Review is one of them. Trump has a tendency to undermine his case, and this is a great example.
Well, I think that maybe the combination of those kinds of stories and the court action on the travel ban suggests that maybe going slow here, a little slower on a subject this sensitive, maybe a smart course. I mean, because it's not as if the idea of taking a tougher line on immigration is a politically unpopular thing, but how you do it does matter.